The content on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not for children. Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the DC Collectibles action figure of the Mad Hatter from Batman, the animated series. First off, I gotta say that DC Collectibles has done a great job capturing the look of the Mad Hatter here. In fact, their whole series of, Batman animated figures really does capture the design from that series, especially the little tiny feet and the big broad shoulders and all the kind of creative design lines that go into this as far as the angles and the shapes of things. Now, man, look at Jervis Tetch's face here. I mean, that's pretty good as far as sculpting his face and the dimensions of his teeth and his cheeks and his nose, the look of his eyes. It's really good work there. And the paint of his teeth looks really good. His eyeballs are well painted. I love the sculpt of his hair. His hat looks great. So good job to that as far as the sculpt of his head goes. And it's got pretty good articulation too, I might add, as far as like head tilts and all that. But when you get to the rest of his body, it's worth pointing out that like his outer coat is made of like, I think it's like a soft, it feels like rubber, but it's like I think a soft vinyl material. Which is kind of cool, I guess, but I don't see any reason for it considering, look at it, there's no like mid-torso cut. You can't really articulate them much through it. So like, they might as well just gone and made it a hard plastic, because I worry that this soft material will kind of erode over the years or get kind of gummy. I don't know, we'll see how it holds up over a few years, but I just think that they didn't need to go soft unless there's a reason to make something soft. But there's no reason for this to be this material. If it was like a robed character that had articulation underneath it where you could, bend it, that would make sense. Anyway, shoulder articulation is really strong. You got the rotating elbow joint there. You get the rotating wrists, and they have a hinge that come inward. There is leg joints at the hip that come forward and back, but they don't move much, as you can see. And there's a knee joint. And then you get the hinged ankle with the rotating ankle joint there with the little swivel. And I dig that. But look, details on his shoes are good. The sculpt of the lines of his pants are really clean. Like, it does honor the animated series design really well. His tie looks good. I like the clean button paint. It's a great looking figure. Got pretty limited articulation, but he still looks really cool. And he comes with some cool accessories, including his little like command module, his little command station there. It looks really good. I love the little mic there. Looks awesome. And then we get his axe. And I dig it. They did a great job because it looks exactly how it did in the animated series, so that's perfect. And he also comes with a pair of grip hands and a pair of open palm hands. And then lastly, he comes with the figure stand, which has the little like character turnaround sheet, or sort of turnaround sheet. It's got a little bit of stuff on it. But yeah, I dig it that it's got the little animation paper holes, like all the ones in this series do. And you just plug that little hole into it, and then this goes on top. And you can, not only open the arms, but you can kind of slide it forward and back to position the figure on the stand better. Now, one minor disappointment for me is that his hands don't have a very large space for gripping stuff. They're pretty small, and like his axe handle gets thicker as you get further down. Like, it can barely grip with that one hand, but I wanted to have him grip with both hands, and this hand just can't, like, it doesn't open enough for how thick this bottom blade is. You can only really have him hold the axe with one hand, and that's kind of disappointing. But that is how it's designed, with a thick handle. But if this hand had been designed to be a bigger open grip, that would have been cooler. Having said that, though, I do dig this figure. Like, I love, the animated series, and I love having all the villains from that show. And I think they did a great job with his design. The color scheme is just fantastic. I wish his legs had like a joint that allowed them to spread further apart to, better stabilize them. But that figure stand helps a little bit, and the pivoting of the ankles helps, broaden that a bit. But just look at him there. He looks freaking great. As a fan of the animated series and of the Mad Hatter as a character, and just having this on my shelf as a toy and a collector, pretty happy with this. I like it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to me if you want. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all that crap if you'd like.